Hi, I was raised in the Mormon church, and here is my story. This has proven harder to record than I expected. I was raised in the Mormon church, and let's talk about that. Why I am not in the Mormon church anymore, or as they like to call themselves, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This video is not meant to disrespect any religion or Christianity or pull people away from the faith. It's simply my story, and I want to tell my story. So let's begin. I was born in the Mormon church in a way. Let me get into it. So my dad was interested in the temple. Now, if you don't know what the temple is, I'm gonna show you in a bit. Temple that he passed by and he said, "What is this wonderful big building? It's so pretty." So he went into it and he asked. He found some missionaries. Missionaries are basically 18-year-olds. They're usually walking in pairs, and he saw two of those, and they basically were able to convert him into the church. So fast forward, he went back home. He told my mom. My mom was like, "This is crazy. I've only heard crazy stuff about this church. I've only heard crazy stuff. I heard it's the demon church. I heard all this stuff um about it." And she didn't like the idea of him going to this church. So it was this whole um tough thing within their marriage. And I could go a little bit deeper about my parents, but that's maybe for a future video. So that's how it all started, right? And I will blame my brother. It's my brother's fault because tell me how. So my dad would take my brother to church. So one day, it was Mother's Day. My dad took my brother to church, and in church, Mother's Day is pretty important. So they had the kids, write letters and stuff of that sort for their parents. And so that's what my brother did. And he came back home and then he told my mom, "Look what I made for you." And it was really cute and all that. My mom was like, "Ah, this is teaching my son something good." So the next Sunday, she went to church. And when she went to church, everyone was really, really nice to her. And that's something about the Mormon church as well. People are really nice. Like, people are really kind. And they just, you know, fill there with love. If it was real or not, basically everyone is just told to be really welcoming, really open, and really nice. And we'll get into why also it's not a good fit up for me because of that, because I really suck at faking stuff. Like, at any point, if you want to see what I am thinking, just look at my face and you will know that I'm feeling how I'm feeling, right? So my parents got into the church. Meanwhile, me, I was 2 years old, and I was just being taken to church and all that. And I was, yeah, like, endowed with my family. I remember when I was 2 years old, the first time I was in the temple, I was crying an awful lot because it kind of. I remember that. That's so weird that I remember that, but I do. I remember my cousin was also there for some reason, and she was with me, and I was just crying because I was like, "Why is everyone wearing white?" I was so confused, and I remember that moment, guys. I actually do. And so I I was in the church. I fully believed it, right? I fully believed it because I was raised in it. Like, if you're taught something, you just believe it. You don't really question because you're also told not to question, right? Um so I fully believed in it. I was one of those kids that I knew my articles of faith. Articles of faith. There are 13 articles of faith, and basically kids recite it. I was there every single Sunday. I was in the choir for some reason. I was um I was in the I was served like every single Saturday. I was basically in the church. I was raised in the church. I would go to the church every single day. And I had no problem with this because I was a child, okay, guys? I was a child. I had absolutely no problem with this. Also, it was fun because this was also in Ghana, so I was just surrounded by a bunch of black people. Um, Foreshadowing. Anyways, so I was surrounded by a bunch of black people and I loved it. I loved it. It was incredible. It was wonderful. Everyone was so kind. Everyone was so nice. Yeah, it was fun. We had like parties and honestly, not gonna lie, not a bad childhood, not a bad like from 2 to 8 year old. And also I was trying to avoid getting baptized because I was when you're 8, right? That's when you're supposed to be baptized, and a lot of kids would get baptized, but as an 8 year old, I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know. I'm just here because I'm just here, right? I think it should be more so serious. I think I should have more knowledge before I choose to get baptized. So I was trying to kind of avoid that. So I got baptized when I was actually like 9 years old, like mid 9 years old, because that's when I was like, okay, I'll do it. I understand it now. Hats off to my brother. But anyways, okay, let me preface this by saying, because I'm being really nice to the Mormon church, I am not a Mormon anymore. I'm just someone who can look at things from a positive perspective and look and learn from it and grow from it, and also better for my future, like make my future better. And I'm gonna tell you the reasons I'm not a Mormon anymore. This is just the starting story of where I came from and where I am now. It's just that, right? So it was great. And then when I was 8 years old, we moved to the United States, right? It was totally different kind of practice, if I'm being honest with you. Because in Ghana, it felt more like we were more so focused on the New Testament or the Bible, more so focused on that. Here, everything was about, the Book of Mormon. It was always about the Book of Mormon. You could not go a day without talking about the Book of Mormon. Now, also, I think a reason why I'm also so open to hearing about other religions, and the reason why I'm still in Christianity, just a non-denominational Christian, is because my mother would put me in like different churches, like on Thursdays or Wednesdays or whatnot. We'll go to like another church and we'll see like praise and worship there, and sometimes we'll go to different churches as well. And I learned the Bible because of that, not because the Mormon Church taught me the Bible or the New Testament in any way, shape, or form of what it really is, But yeah, when I came to the United States, it was also I was so confused. I was so confused because all the kids were weird. I'm sorry. I'm being a bully, yo. Yo, I didn't talk because I was like, what is going on? What are you people? What are you doing? I was so confused. And so I was raised in, I'm actually grateful for this because I might have left way sooner, because I was raised in the hood, low key. I was raised in the hood, so my church, the church I went to was low key hood. Like we were in Hollywood, Florida, and we would go to camp and call ourselves like the what was it? What was it? It was like some hood stuff. So I had some black people there. There were Hispanic people. The white people, the white kids. Not that, they were mostly white adults, but the white kids were in the minority. So I grew up in that church, right? And I remember when I was younger, everyone was shocked that I knew like the articles of faith. I was like, don't y'all learn this? This is a thing we do in Africa. What are you guys doing here? Don't you guys learn about the articles of faith? Now let me show you guys the articles of faith real quick. This is how it looks. And it's basically saying some stuff of their beliefs, and basically all kids know that. I'm not sure if adults know that. Is it this? If you just search it up, does it just come up? Bro, can I just open? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There we go. This looks so bad. Let's get a bigger one. Okay. Eh. 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 Okay, wait. Let me stop wasting time. I know y'all's attention span is low. Not that anyone will watch this, but I'm just saying, let me stop wasting time. Okay. Open. Did I not see this? Open image in new tab. Look. Yeah, is this, yo. I knew this, right? And they wanted all the kids to memorize it. So I memorized it since I was like 5, 6, 7. But then when I came when I was 8 to the United States, they were like, you know it? I was like, yeah, bro. Yeah. Meanwhile, all the kids in Ghana knew it, because I feel like we're stricter with ourselves. Like, we low-key could get up there. We're very strict on ourselves. But anyways, so I knew my articles of faith. I was raised reading the Bible, reading the scriptures. I read the Book of Mormon when I was younger. And then let's say I'm gonna skip through a lot because a lot of my memory is low-key non-existent, because I just try to forget stuff that hurt me. But yeah, so I went to church every single Sunday, and mind you, I did not like church. I'm not like a somebody that likes church like that. So I didn't like church, to be honest. Also, it felt weird. Everyone felt like fake in a way. I don't like using that word, because I don't think it's a good word to use, but everyone felt fake in a way. Like, everyone was just like nice to each other, but it was like in a backhanded way, it felt almost. And I felt like I had to be fake to kind of fit in. So I would be smiling all the time because I'm just trying to get out of here. I'm just trying to leave. Yeah, so I left. I left pretty early, like the moment my classes would be ending. And so what would happen was, okay, when I was going there, earlier on, we had 3 hours, right? So we'll have like actual like sacrament meeting, and then we'll have the kids will go with the kids, the young adults will go with the young adults, the old people will go with the old people, men and women were kind of split up. And then we'll have like all the young adults without men and women split up, and then all the older people not split up, and then all the kids not split up into different ages, right? So that's what had happened. That's what will happen. So it was 3 hours of church. When I was younger, when I got older, like, I think I was like around 15 or 16 or something. By the way, I'm 21 now. I was around 15 or 16. That's when like they did the whole 2 hours thing. But yeah, go to church for 3 hours, and it was tough. Because I didn't really enjoy it, and yeah, but I was faking the heck out of it. They thought I was the model a Mormon person and the model person, because I felt like in some ways I believed it, and in some ways I was questioning a lot. Um, so yeah, so I did believe it. So I was like the one that was always reading the scriptures. I always had like uh kind of answering questions, but I didn't really like talking. If I knew an answer, sometimes I wouldn't say anything because I was just like, isn't it so obvious? Is this not what it just said? Anyways, I'm still like that. But but yeah, I was like always, because I was always there. We also went on Tuesdays. Um yeah. Ooh, guys. Now let's move to when I was when I was what, 13. That's when I started high school. When you start high school, you start seminary. What is seminary? You go to classes to learn about the scriptures and the Bible and all that stuff. Basically, you're reading the Bible or the Book of Mormon or the New Testament. And it basically rotates each year, right? So each year, it'll be different. It'll be different. And so I remember we never got to the Old Testament, but I remember I really liked the New Testament. But but hear me out. The crazy part is none of my friends. I was a different person with each of my groups. So none of my friends in high school I never talked about like church or Christianity or any of that with them, because I was like, I'm not too sure about this. Um yeah, I'm not too sure about this. So and the conversation never came up either, so it was just chill, right? So meanwhile, in high school, before I would take the bus, mind you, the bus will come in at like 6 a.m. So we had seminary at like 4 a.m. I would wake up at 4 a.m. Seminary would be like from five to like 6, and then I'll have to drive to the bus station. My mom will drive me to the bus station, right? So during seminary, like it was early morning, so we were kind of asleep, but we were actually like reading the Bible and answering, questions and all that stuff. And honestly, that waking up that early in the morning, I feel like that kind of gave me a lot of discipline, because I didn't have a choice to go or not to go. I love my mom, but like I didn't have a choice in the matter. I was going no matter what. But yeah, I went to. It was it was really hard. Let me. I might decode. Yeah, it really sucked, but all of us kids were in it. Um, it was bad. It was yeah. It was cool though to get to know the other people more. Low key suffering together. At that point, I didn't really feel like I had COVID, so I didn't try to feel anything because it's just something I had to do. So went to seminary for all of high school, and then COVID hit, and I am sorry for all the people that suffered during COVID. However, as an introvert, it was wonderful. I didn't have to go to school. I had no work because I was a teenager. I didn't have to go to seminary. It was great. I didn't have to go to seminary. Um, so that was great. And so, didn't go to seminary. We had like online classes for a bit, I think. And then at some point they started it back up, but I was like, I like it. So I did online with the random teacher ones. I stopped going to the online ones because I just got lazy, and so I had to still. I did graduate seminary though, so I had to still do the work later on. So I did the work later on, and then I graduated with everybody else. But meanwhile, through this, like I believed in it. I believed in what they were telling me because it's all I knew. Like I just accepted it. Um, so that's all I knew. Can't blame blame me for that. So yeah, so next up, I I came to college. I came to college, and my freshman year I didn't really go that much. I went like a couple. I went the first time I went. Actually, I did go. That was suffering, guys. We had they have young adult boards. Um, they call it a church board. So they had young adult boards, and yeah, I went to that a lot, and then yeah, because I needed a ride because I didn't have a car. I think I walked there a couple of times as well, and it was pretty far from my old apartment. Now it's right next to me, but it was pretty far from my old apartment. So I walked there a couple of times, and then a really nice girl took me also a couple of times. Um, and I just didn't like. I still don't like the price, which is why I'm so happy that car blessed me with that. But I didn't go to that like every single Sunday. I think I went, let's say, Sunday or so. So that progressed for a whole year, and then okay, I don't know what happened. I don't know what came into me, but I woke up one day and I was like, I'm an adult. I can figure this out. Um, if it's true or not. Because at this point, y'all, I'm not denying God because I know what God has done for me. The ability that the fact that my family came from Ghana to here is God. There's certain stuff, right, that you can't deny of it being God. Like, it wasn't you, it wasn't a person, it wasn't coincidence, it wasn't anything. It was just God. So at this point, trust. I'm not rejecting God. I'm just saying, God, let me know you. Let me know you to the extreme. So I started doing everything like temple, going to all the activities, going to all the church services, like doing everything, reading my scriptures every single day, praying a lot during the day. I still pray a lot. I was really into it because I really wanted to know the truth, right? Because I just really needed to know the truth. So I was just in it. And so yeah, so I was really in it, fully believing in it. And then I was just praying to God. I was reading and then y'all, y'all. Anyways, I was reading the Bible. I was reading the Book of Mormon one time. And then I asked God. They were like, I was reading it and I was like, this doesn't seem like what something, God would do based on the New Testament or the Old Testament. I don't think it's something that he would. Like, it wasn't, like, if you're spiritually aware, like, like, it wasn't, there was something off. Not that it was saying something crazy or bad or anything like that. There was something off about it. So I was like, Lord, I don't know why you made me see this time. But I'm gonna ask you, like, because I actually never did. I just was like, oh, my parents said it's true. It's true. So I was like, Lord, I'm gonna ask you, is this true or not? And be completely honest with me. Completely honest with me. I can deal with it, Father God. So I prayed about it. Bro said no. God said no. God was like, this isn't me. This isn't me. So I was like, no way. No way. No way. So what did I do? I did it more. Because that's what they said you do when you doubt. You do it more. You go to church more. I don't even know how I go to church more than I was already. So I was just doing everything all the time. Going to church more. Going to, what was it? Oh, bro, institute. Yeah. Oh my gosh, institute. Institute is like seminary but for older kids. So I was going to institute. I was going to like all the different activities. I was a token black girl, y'all. I was a token black girl, and yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I was. Yeah. So I was doing it more. My heart, my heart wasn't in it because I had gotten that answer before then that it wasn't true. So I'm confused now. I'm confused now. I'm confused now. Father, Father, I'm confused. So I just kept doing it through prayer. I'd pray. I stopped, and then at some point, I was like, this is not God. Because once you know God, once you like read the Old Testament, read the New Testament, and once you develop that relationship with God, your discernment, y'all, the discernment is is to a different level. Like, or it's just me, I don't know. But like, I was able to like notice little stuff that didn't correlate with what God had said. So I was like, God, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. I don't know why it's me. I don't want this to be me. I don't want to be the only person in my family that is leaving the church. Because what if they're y'all, we need to read Reddit stories because these Mormon parents are crazy. Like, they are insane. Like, some of them kick their kids out for saying, I don't believe in the same thing as you. They kick their, because they believe, like, they fully believe that if their child does not believe in the Book of Mormon, that they will not go to heaven, right? And they can't be with their child again. So if I can't be with you again, throw you out. I'm throwing you out. That's what some parents do. And my parents, it was kind of complicated. It was hard for my mom at first, but there was no way. Like, there was no way. Like, once that cognitive dissonance leaves you, it's gone. It's gone. It's not coming back. Like, there was no way I was ever gonna set foot in that place again. Because like, I could feel the spiritual, like, the spiritual shift in it. Like, I could feel that in there. Like, I could feel that, like, literally. And also factually, it, like, why are we focusing more on the Book of Mormon, y'all? So that time I was kind of like depressed. I was depressed because I was thinking about, I don't have anybody, like, I don't have anybody, because like, no, I'm the only one that's not in the church. um y'all, I didn't even get to see my brother like get married because I wasn't in the church. So I was like, I didn't even get to see. Yeah, I was like, I'm not in the church. This It was half of you, right? Is gone. It's gone, and I had to start from scratch. So at that point, I would say I was a little bit mad at God. I was mad at him because I felt like he really just dropped the mic on me by letting me figure it out myself. By telling me, or letting me figure it out myself by telling me through the Holy Spirit that it wasn't true. Drop the mic, and I felt like I was wrong. That's why you can't always depend on your feelings. I felt like he had abandoned me, and I felt like, what am I supposed to do with this information now? So me being, I was trying to tell all the people that I knew were still in the church, that were my age. I was like, y'all know like this isn't real, right? This isn't real. Y'all know this isn't real. This isn't God. The Book of Mormon isn't God. There's read the Old Testament and the New Testament, and then you'll see. But they didn't. Uh, they they were like, yeah, like actually, yeah. They were like, yeah, I know it's not true. I know. But I'm only going for my parents and all that stuff. So I was like, I bet it makes sense. I'm just like, I can't fake it. I gotta know God for who He is. But at that point, I'm trying to put myself in that mindset of, at that point, I wasn't thinking I gotta know God for who He is. I was like, Father, Father in heaven, why did you do this to me? Why did you do this to me? It's like the Matrix, red pill, blue pill. I was like, at that moment, I was like, I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know. I low-key didn't want to know, but I know myself now. Right where I am right now, I would have loved to know a bit earlier. I was like, I actually would have liked to know a bit earlier, that it wasn't true. So basically, yeah, at that point, stopped going to church. I was not reading. Yeah, I don't think I was even reading the Bible, and I was like, is God real? I don't know. Is God real? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, and then and then God was still there, honestly, because I realized that during that time, a lot of good stuff happened in my life. Like a lot of good stuff happened in my life during that time, and I was going through all this, but good stuff happened, you know. So I later on, like after the good stuff happened, I met people that were they were angels. I think they were angels because they literally they didn't even know it at that time. They didn't even know it at that time, but I think I was still curious about churches and religion, and I just wanted to understand it all. So I remember this girl. I know her name, and I haven't talked to her in a little bit. And I don't think this video will get a lot of views, but maybe not on the internet. But I met this girl, and I basically just asked her a simple question. I was like, "Do you go to church? Church, like?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What type of church do you go to?" I know about Presbyterian because my mom used to be Presbyterian. I knew about Baptist. I knew about stuff like that. She was like, "I go to a non-denominational church." Huh? I kid you not. I had never heard that term in my life. I had never heard that term in my life. Meanwhile, my best friend, anyways, she, her dad is a literal pastor in a non-denominational church. But I learned it from this literal stranger. So she was like, "Yeah, I go to a non-denominational church. You wanna come?" Okay. So I went with her to the church. I was scared. Because they were doing the thing where you be praying and people whispering and doing all the stuff. And in Mormonism, it's just like you have to be reverent. You can't be moving. You have to sit still so you can actually hear the Holy Spirit. So that's what I grew up in. And that is true to a point, but if people are gardening and praying, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, so I wasn't comfortable with that, so I think I only went one time, and it was a great one time. She bought me a shirt and everything, y'all. I still wear that shirt to this day because I looked at the price. That thing was expensive. Why would they sell a shirt? Anyway, that thing was expensive, and she was like, "I'm gonna buy it for you." At that point, I didn't know how to say no, So I was just like, okay, thank you. Thank you. Trust, if you see this video, I am using the shirts you got me every single day of my life. I promise. It's not it didn't go for waste. It didn't go to waste. Um so then later on I met more friends, and I didn't know this, but all the friends I ended up making were Christian, and they just never talked about their Christianity because they're just y'all. I don't do that either. I can't. I'm just 21. I don't do that. But yeah. So they were also Christian, and I would also ask them, like, "What church do you go to?" So I tried a couple of different churches and all that stuff, and then found a church I like. And yeah, that's basically my story. But anyways, I feel like there's a lot of holes in this story because I'm just saying it whatever comes into my head. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff I forgot to mention. Um, but yeah, that is my journey in the Mormon Church, or LDS or whatnot. But I forgot a lot of stuff to talk about actually. Yeah, tune in next time if I talk about this. This is a general. This is a general story, but there are other stuff that are in there that yeah, more story times. I could tell y'all what happened, but this is like just general. So basically, for 16 years in 18 actually, for 18 years in my life. Am I tripping? No, was this because I started when I was 2. I left when I was like 19. I can't count, y'all. For 17 years in my life, I was a part of this organization. Now I'm out of this organization. Thank you. Ooh, it's hard, like, to get out of that cognitive dissonance. It's hard. So if y'all are going through it right now, um, just know I'm rooting for you. It's possible. Um, it's hard, but like, you got this. Like, God's got you, to be honest. Whatever way you end up going, because I know a lot of people. There's a lot of trauma attached to it, so a lot of people end up, becoming atheist or agnostic. But I just chose this path of Christianity because I just can't deny what God has done for me. Um, but yeah, I wish you the best. I'm gonna pray for you if you see this, and hearts. All right. I knew I was doing the heart wrong the whole time, bro. I think this is better. This is way better. Okay. All right. Anyway, goodbye. Have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.